G'day everyone. How you going? That's good. Yeah, back with an update of what I've been up to over this last couple of weeks since my last video. And so I thought I'd start from a slightly different angle this time. I've got the camera on the tripod, but the tripod's not quite sitting on the ground. I'm kind of holding it so I can get this kind of slightly angled shot. Take in a bit more. I have finished some more Medbury Miniatures, their 100 Years War range, and we've got some more some more pikemen for the Shiltron, and there are still a few more in the box. So yeah, it looks like Mark's going for quite a defensive looking force here. Yeah, so a lot of pikemen, but also I finished, to go with them, I finished a Bombard. You can see that over there on the table on the long base, and we'll have a closer look later. I haven't taken any photos yet, so there will be those at the end, all being well. And also I've started on the next batch, basically. Starting to put them together. So yeah, I'll have a look here. So yeah, these shiny guys here, that more Medbury castings. The guys at the back over here, these are English longbowmen or war bows. Yeah, and they're a nice characterful set actually. Mostly single part castings. There was there's some separate arrows there that were stuck on the base, that I stuck on the base, because he's actually not carrying any because he's blowing that horn. So I put some arrows on his base, and one of them has, yeah, this chappie over here, you have to stick his hand, stuck him to the table, his hand on that's carrying the bow, you have to stick that on separately. But apart from that, they're pretty straightforward. A little bit of cleanup, but not much really, very little. Now the guys in the front without their heads, so I've started work on these, the cleanup and sorting them out and cleaning up the parts. So I've left the figures with their parts in the little baggies, so I know what goes with what. These haven't made it to their bases yet, but yeah, so this figure, for instance, is has a separate head, so the heads are supplied separately. But apart from that, he's a single piece casting. Does have a heater shield on his back, so I'll have to come up with some sort of simple design for that. This chap, again, there's a heater shield in the pack and a head that'll all need to be put on. I may have to do some tiny little balls of green stuff to help with the adhesion, because super glue is not as super as it used to be. Now this fellow is going to be, he's got his hand, two hands around his sword, and the head's in here. But this figure here has his shield, he's got a separate heater shield in the bag, plus there's an arm in there. You can just make out there that will have to be stuck into here. So he'll have a head, shield and arm to be fixed on, and I think one of these, this chappie here as well, he'll have to have, yeah, he's got part of an arm in there, and there's a couple of heads, and again another chap with two-handed sword pose. It's not the same as this one, it's slightly different. So yeah, those are being cleaned up and assembled as well. But yeah, if we have a look over the back. So there's the Bombard. Now, what I might do is I'll just pause for a moment and clear a bit more space so you can get a better look at the guys that are actually being finished painting. So bear with me while I pause my video. Okay, had a bit of a rearrange. Got them up on the box like that. Okay, so the usual, well, more pikemen or Shiltron guys. So with these chaps, I've gone for a bit more of a theme kind of with the paint scheme, which you might be able to notice. They've got coloured leggings. I think they've all got them actually, like blue on, is it the right? Blue on their right and white on their left. So I thought that was a bit fun, and a lot of them have also got, not all of them, but also got that divided tunic colours, but the opposite of the leggings sort of thing. So they've got the white on the right and the blue on the left on their tabards or tunics. So yeah, I just sort of I think when all the figures are put together, they're going to work fine together, but they're all slightly different. But this group's a little bit themed, sort of makes it fun doing the batch this way. So the colours for the blues, I used a Reaper Triad. Still available as far as I understand. It probably won't show up all that well, I don't know. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, it's an ultramarine triad basically, starting with ultramarine shadow and then ultramarine blue and ultramarine highlight. So available from the Reaper Master Series paints, made in USA and Texas, I believe. So yeah, I'm pretty sure there are stockists in the UK as well, although who knows how things are shaping up with that regard. Yeah, we won't get into it. They've probably got plenty of stock anyway. I got over a number of years from Tabletop Empires here in Australia, who have a very big range of the Reaper paints, and over the years I've acquired quite a lot of them. The triads are very useful. So that's the sort of dominant blue colour that I've used for these chaps. There we go. There's a couple of other colours thrown in. The white is very similar to the one I mentioned in my last video. Basically, I used, let me see, a base of Vallejo medium grey. So it's quite sort of almost beigey kind of, or a bit like, is it German camo beige or something like that? It's not dissimilar in some ways, but so yeah, a medium grey from Vallejo Model Colour is a base. The usual wash that I've been using, my own home brew, with a bit of what's the name, Express Medium put in, a couple of drops to help it flow a bit better, and then working back in with the original colours, and then highlighting up with deck tan, and then finishing with off-white, both Vallejo Model colours. Another colour that occurs a few times on these figures, there's kind of it probably shows up as a kind of an orangey colour. You can see it on the cowls of these couple of guys, there and there. Probably the arms of this chap. But anyway, I used this colour. They actually call it deep brown. It's AK Interactive 3rd Generation Intense Modelling Colour. Yeah, they call it deep brown, but it's just very orangey, really, when you look at it. It's an orangey brown. So, yeah. I use that and highlight it up. Okay, so yeah, and some of the same sorts of colours that I used before on their jackets and leatherwork and whatnot. So that is them. There'll be some photos at the end. I'm just going to take these off, put them to one side. Excuse me. Let's see if we can get a decent look at the Bombard and the crew. Still slightly got a lingering, although I'm over it, pretty much a virus. The family got a bug going around, so been a bit under the weather, but there we go. Okay, now so it's probably better if we just angle ourselves slightly here and get a better view. Okay, let's see. So yes, they're a honking great thing, these Bombards, these medieval Bombards. There we go. Now, what can I say about this? Obviously you get the 4 crew. I'm pretty sure they're all single piece castings from memory. You do get the gun itself. The Bombard is in a few pieces, the barrel being one piece. These are all from Medbury Miniatures. These are rather than the 3D printed versions, these are their metal cast versions. Now there were excuse fingers, there's it comes with a pile of shot, because the shot, and this one chap here is carrying one of them, they were made of stone. The balls that were put in these early gunpowder weapons in Europe were stone. So it comes with a pile there. I think it was meant to have some other, looking at the pictures online, it looked like there was meant to be a barrel with it and maybe another ball or two to go with it, but they weren't in the baggie. Mark might have them floating around at home, or maybe they just got missed out, but it just seemed to be that there was a couple of little things in the extra bits in the pictures. But so there are 2 bags that come with it. If we look around here, yeah, there's another bag kind of laying on the ground there, and there's a couple more of these stone cannonballs, but I've made them out of green stuff and painted them up to look the same. So yeah, so I thought I'd just put some more on there. So there's 2 that I've made there, and I made another extra one here on the ground next to this chap, because he's picked one up anyway. So yeah, I thought I'd just add some of those just to put a bit more on the base. Yeah, so it comes with yes, the barrel is one piece, and then you get these sort of stands or frame that it sits in, that you stick down. I think there's, what is it, number of pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces perhaps for the frame. Can't remember exactly now. But yeah, you've got to stick this lot and then that lot. There are some pictures online to help you gauge the general spacing, and then there's this curious sort of little frame at the back. I'm not sure how useful it would be. Can you imagine the recoil on these guns? It'd just be insane. I mean, from what I understand, they were really quite dangerous to use, and probably in reality, none of these guys, if the guy was about to put a flame to it, or I don't know if he'd have a flaming torch like that, but he may have something a bit more discreet. Smaller perhaps, I don't know. You wouldn't want to set off too much gunpowder. But yeah, I think what it seems that happened is that as soon as it was lit, there'd be some sort of amount of time to jump into a ditch nearby some sort of rudimentary trench or crude fortification to jump into while the thing went off. So those would be sort of, I guess, behind or to either side of the gun. So at least you could hunker down, because these things had a reputation for exploding, and rather than shooting a projectile off, they'd just blow up on the spot. And they could only be fired, usually these early gunpowder weapons in Europe, a limited number of times, maybe 8 to 12 times a day, if you were lucky. And they tended to, the balls would be shoved in and then sort of wedged, usually sometimes with chocks of wood in there to keep them in there. So yeah, it was crude, but they were effective in sieges. They were deployed in 100 Years' War sieges. I believe there was some sort of bombards and stuff used at the siege of Harfleur in the Agincourt campaign, and obviously they became more and more prevalent. So yeah, I added some extra tufts on there and a slight bit of object source lighting from the torch. You can see there's over that end of the barrel, there's a slight sort of glowy orange tinge from the light from the flaming torch, and it's sort of that orangey light creeps up the wooden handle a bit. It wouldn't be hugely dramatic object source lighting because they're probably doing this in the daytime. But yeah, I thought it'd be nice just to have a bit of it. And it's the same method I've been using for flames. They start from a dark base and then gradually build up. I mean, like a dark undercoat, and then build up towards just pure white. And then over those, I put like contrast type colors, like in my case, Vallejo Express. So I start with like a red at the base of the flame, and then orange, and then pure yellow at the top. And it certainly seems to stand out fairly well. Yes, and so there's a guy with a great big woolly sponge there as well. And yeah, like I said, I don't think that guy blocking his ears would be more likely running for cover in a hole, and so would the rest of them. But yeah, really nice piece though, really nice sculpting, casting. You can see the faces are really well sculpted, and yeah, nice and crisp piece of work from Andrew and the team at Medbury Miniatures. And so yeah, they were painted up nicely. So guys, not much more I can tell you. You can see what I'm going to be starting on next. I just put them down in there. And I'll just keep doing them and working my way through that project. Yeah, I'll have stills at the end. Still got all my tools here from cleaning the figures up, files and clippers and whatnot, and a bit of a mess on the bench over here. And magnifiers and stuff everywhere, so I need a bit of a tidy up. As I've only got limited space, I kind of got to keep it reasonably tidy. Can't let it get too messy for too long. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching another long one. I hope you found it interesting. If you've got any questions, please put it in the comment section below, and I do always try and answer people's questions and reply to their comments in 99.9% of cases. And so hopefully there'll be some half decent photos to follow after this. So thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and bye for now.